West Indies Cricket, Caribbean Cricket Podcast. West Indies Cricket, Caribbean Cricket Podcast.
Yes. Welcome back to another edition of the Caribbean Cricket Podcast. I'm one half of the Caribbean Cricket Podcast, Machel St. Patrick Hewitt, and we didn't go live yesterday after the day's play. Let me tell you why. I was outside, cuz. I was outside. I was drinking 1-2 juices. I was still following the cricket. This is the thing. This is how I know I'm a cricket tragic. I was outside catching up with brethren, haven't seen them in a while. And as I'm talking to them about this, that, and the third, and we, you know, we're talking politics. As we're doing all of that, I'm just watching cricket. I just got the cricket perched up on the side, kind of like talking, but just actually watching. I'm a tragic. I'm a real tragic. But, you know, we have to keep it moving. By the time the night ended, I got home in time to do a live recap show. But true say I'd had one too many juices. I said, you know what, cooler, man? Let me just cool and just go to my bed. So that's why I didn't do it last night. And that's why you're getting a morning recap instead. So let's start with the critical point first. That was a good day for West Indies. I'm not here to argue with anyone. That was a good day for the West Indies. We have now had 5 days of Test match cricket across the Test match series, and West Indies have been competitive in 4 of them. What more could you ask for? The only thing you could ask for more than that is to say, can West Indies win one of these Test matches? I think that's unlikely when you compare the teams and so on and so forth. But they've been so competitive across the series thus far that I'm not ruling the chance out. As unlikely as it is, I'm not ruling the chance out. So obviously we started day 2. This is literally a quick video, people. Literally a quick one, under 10 minutes, I reckon. Because I'm going to, anyways, let me be quiet. So we started day 2, having bowled out Australia for 286 on day 1. The big question mark going into day 2 was always going to be, so how are we going to bat? The bowling unit had shown up again. They'd taken 10 Australian wickets. Our bowling attack looks like it knows how to bowl down the Australians, give or take whether we should have restricted them to less than 250 or 250 circle, whatever it might be. The point is we're able to take 10 Australian wickets and look comfortable taking 10 Australian wickets. So the question was always going to be, so how are we going to bat? By the end of the day, we posted up 253. And I think that's good. I think that's good. We were at 64 for 3. I'm not sure many West Indians would have said we'll get to 253. At 169 for 4, just before Shea got out, I think some West Indians would have been thinking we might reach parity. At 174 for 7, when Justin Graves got out, I think a lot of West Indians would have said, are we even going to make 200? And if you remember back to the day 1 show, I had said on the day 1 show, our minimum target should be to get to 200, and anything after 200 is a bonus. Well, we achieved that. Because from 174 for 7, the rest of the tail, Alzari Joseph, Shamar Joseph, Anderson Phillip, and Jaden Seals managed to eke up our score to 253 and keep us in the game. I think that was something like a 33-run deficit. It's not parity, but given how we then bowled in the last bit of the evening session, it feels like it's parity. Okay, so I chalk that as a good day for West Indies cricket, a competitive day of West Indies cricket. For all the people the naysayers about Darren Sammy, etc., and I know there's plenty out there, what more do you want? Beyond a win, what more can you ask for? We're out there, we're competitive. I said at the start of the series when Santoki and I did that show, I said that Sammy has laid his marker out by making all of these changes to the batting lineup. He said, this is my style, these are my players, and this is the way I'm trying to go forward with almost like a brand new ethos of how I want the West Indies to play. He spoke at length about how him and Avanesh have looked at the data of the top 4 teams and how they go about their business, and therefore we need to change the way that we're playing. You've seen those stats that have come across the screen at various times in this Test series. We're crap for catching efficiency in the slips. We're crap for hundreds scored in the World Test Championship cycle. What was that other stat that I saw where we're near the bottom? I can't even remember right now, but that hundreds one was so telling. That was so telling. All the people that have cussed and said, Sammy shouldn't have made changes to the batting lineup. It don't make sense. Gabba premium, Multan premium. We are bottom of the table for individual hundreds in the last what man like Bangladesh are ahead of us. Two Dega hundreds. That's all we got in the last World Test Championship cycle, right? So that's why on last night's show, I was saying, boy, I don't know who can make a 50 because we're so used to not seeing big scores from individual batters that it's impossible to go into a day's play going, yeah, that's the guy who's going to deliver for us. As it was, the guy who delivered on the day was Brandon King. Who would have thought it? I did. Who had the foresight to say 2 years ago on Caribbean Cricket Podcast, we need to call Brandon King into the test side? I did. Yeah, I'm being bossy. You best believe I'm being bossy because we have wasted years of cricket, years of what do I want to say, restrictive selection processes, arguing about man needs to prove themselves in down bad red ball cricket to get into West Indies test side. How many years have we wasted with this? How many years? Even when King was called up to the test squad, I had millions, that's massive exaggeration. I had plenty man messaging me going, King only averaged 30 in this year's domestic championship. How can he get into the test squad? And I was telling them to go bun themselves because what do you mean? What do you mean? Domestic championship can't be your only barometer and indicator for whether somebody's going to be good enough for test cricket. And actually, all of the people who message me saying King only averaged 30 in the domestic championship, why would Sammy call him up? I'm now questioning your cricket acumen. I'm now questioning your eye test. I don't need Brandon King to go. I think if you go back and watch the archives, there was a show that Santoki and I did where I said all King has to do is score 1 or 2 50s in however many games he plays in this year's domestic champ, and that's enough. That's enough. He just needs to show that he knows how to put together a few innings and he will come back. He'll come into the test team. 2 years ago, I was saying bring Brandon King into the test team. 6 months ago, I was saying bring Brandon King into the test team. We have been wasting time. Man's 30 years old now, only just playing test cricket. And this is why also I said after the first test when he scored 26 and the duck or whatever it was that he got, I said, there's going to be some people now who are going to be quick to jump into the narrative and say, you see, there's plenty of you in the comments who did it. And I said clearly on that video, let it marinate the man. Let's see how he goes over the course of the test series. Well, he's clapped back with a 75. Here's a stat. Brandon King's 75 is the top score so far in the test series by anyone in the top 4 across both teams. The Great Australia and us. That 75 is the best score that anyone in the top 4 has managed to put up because the ball has been hooping and hopping and moving early doors, and it's been hard for the top 4 or 5 to really get into their game. They've had to, and King struggled up front. Don't get twisted. The first 15 balls or so, who was bowling? I think Cummins and maybe Hazelwood. The ball was hooping, and he was in survival mode. In those first 15 balls, I was like, boy, man might nick off or get trapped LBW. He rode the storm and then came through and played his expansive cricket. And that's why I think King's in the team. Whether these guys will always come off, I think again we saw John Campbell, yes, the bat up and catch dismissal was ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. But I think you can clearly see why Campbell's in the team, not just off the back of runs he's been scoring since returning, but Campbell bats with intent. You might not like it. You might think he's too loose outside his off stump. You might think his balance between risk and reward is imbalanced, and that might all be valid. But I think that Campbell fits the way that Sammy wants to play. Go out there, play your natural game, ramp man, scoop man, lick man, cut man, whatever it is, and whatever runs you're making, make them quickly and get us off to some kind of a start. John Campbell averages about 26 in Test match cricket in his first iteration of Test match cricket. People might disagree, but if John Campbell scores a 40, I class that as a net positive. the way we have to look at West Indies Test cricket now, and again, people might disagree, is you have to look at a lot of these guys' averages. And when they come out to bat, you have to say to yourself, have they scored more than their average? And in the case of someone like a Campbell, scoring a 40 is a net positive. Yes, that might mean standards and the bar is low, but that's how I have to look at it. So the dismissal was dunce, but I weren't unhappy with him reaching his 40, if you see what I mean. We got question marks around Craig Brathwaite. I'm just mentioning it because I'm fairly certain people will be like, Mash, why did you not talk about Craig Brathwaite? There are huge question marks around Craig Brathwaite. Santoki and I are going to address that at the end of the series, but we acknowledge that there are question marks around Craig Brathwaite, and particularly in how Sammy wants to go forward with this side. But I think Carty fell to a brilliant catch, caught and bowled by Cummins. But I accept that people are going to look at the 6 and go, how much longer will Sammy say that Carty's my guy? I'm prepared to give Carty time, but again, the average, what is it, like 17, 16? It's difficult, and he'll be playing on Casey's mind, no doubt, but he fell to a very good caught and bowl from Pat Cummins. King played his natural expansive game. Chase was in, then out quite quickly. Hope rebuilt with King and then fell to, he got bowled down, didn't he? But again, I'm not sure there was much Hope could do about that, to be honest. That delivery would have threatened most batters in the game. Okay, so he got bowled down for 21. Graves ain't contributing with the, no, hold on, is he? No, did he score? No, he scored some runs in the back end of the first test, didn't he? He might have scored a 31 or something. Let me just check. What did Graves get in the back end of the first test? 38 not out. So okay, fine. We allow him. So Graves got a 1. He was in and out like Grandpa Simpson. And then the tell, Alzari Joseph has been showing up with the bat this series so far, and technically with the ball as well. So Alzari Joseph scored 23 not out in the first test, and he's followed that up with a 27 in the innings of this test. Shamar Joseph obviously laying down some 6s to get to 29. Don't want to speak too much about him, but obviously he scored 29. Anderson Phillip 10 and Jaden Seal 7. So the back 4 added between them. What have they got here? 50. Sorry. Oh, rah. The back 4 added between them 73 runs, and that's what your back end's supposed to do. Not in so much as they're supposed to rescue us, but they're supposed to battle. They ain't supposed to just go down meekly. They're supposed to lick a few runs along the way and try just bring some respectability to proceedings and get as much as we can. So big up the last 4 who added a significant number of runs, and it was therefore contribute to what is effectively an all-round team performance. And like I say, top scorer Brandon King with 75. John Campbell, second highest scorer with 40. So big up to them. And then right at the back end of the day, Starboy did what Starboy does. How much more do you lot want me to talk about Starboy? People can talk about this man taking a 5-er, that man taking a 4-er. Right now, Starboy will always be our go-to guy because he takes wickets even when he's not at his best. And when he's at his best, he's unplayable. So Starboy, we only managed to bowl, what was it, in the back end of the day, 6 overs. In those 6 overs, Starboy got rid of Constas, got rid of Khawaja. Australia 12 for 2. Starboy, you know. Starboy. He's inevitable, you know. And certainly in home conditions. I need to go pull up Starboy's record at home in the Caribbean. Hold on, let me go find it. I need to get out of here, but I should have been at about 3 minutes left of the show before I need to pack up and get out of the house. Let me just look at Starboy's home record because this guy is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Right, Jaden Seals. Here we go. So Jaden Seals at home has 68. Listen to this, people. Jaden Seals at home in the Caribbean has 68 wickets at 19. Strike rate 36.6. 68 wickets at 19. Strike rate 36.6. That's the star boy. That's the real star boy. Listen, we go again, day 3, when you're watching this. That was just a little pre-video before the start of day 3. What do we want to target? I always set a target for the day. Australia currently lead by, sorry, let me just check. Australia currently lead by, there we go. They lead by 45 runs. Here's how day 3 needs to pan out. We're definitely going into a day 4. So day 3, we need to restrict Australia to a lead of okay, hear me out, people. I'm going to get dunce and bossy. If West Indies on day 3 can bowl Australia out and restrict them to a lead of 200, I'm trying to be realistic, 220, West Indies will win the test match. So that's the target. If we can bowl down Australia and the lead is 220 or less, West Indies will win this test match. There's a target, boys. Watch this and play this in the changing room. We're up. We're up. Restrict these kangaroos to a lead of 220 or less, and we're going to win this test match. I'll be Machel St. Patrick here, 1/2 Caribbean Cricket Podcast. Day 3 is awaiting us in about 5-6 hours or whatever. I'll be watching it, you'll be watching it, and I'll be back live at the end of the day. Until then, enjoy your Saturday, wherever you are in the morning, evening, afternoon, whatever. And I'll see you very, very soon.
West Indies Cricket, Caribbean Cricket Podcast. West Indies Cricket, Caribbean Cricket Podcast.